I think the point that a lot of us are getting to is that we don't just want to have a great life when it comes to our work. That a lot of us are understanding, and you're probably understanding that to have a great life, we need to have not just one aspect taken care of, but all of the aspects taken care of, such as our work life, our income, our household, how we manage our family, how we live with our family, if we're married, how we deal with our spouse, the relationship that we have with our spouse, the relationship that we have with our boss and our friends, right? These are all things that are important to us and are probably important. They're important to me. I know they're important to you. And I think what we're realizing is that we can go into specific areas and specialize in certain things, but those things, sometimes they transfer over to different areas. Sometimes it just helps you build up that one area, which can be important. But what I'm talking about is those principles, is those skills, the common denominators that are present in each area of your life, that by improving that one thing. So here's an example. So actually, let me finish my sentence first. By improving that one thing, you can improve all the areas of your life. Now let me give you an example. Improving the relationship with yourself. Okay, think about this for a second. If you improve the relationship with yourself, will you have better relationships with the people around you, including your spouse if you have one, including your boss, including your family, including your friends? If you have a better relationship with yourself, will you have a better relationship with all of these other people? I'm willing to bet that it's a big, loud yes. Now, I'll ask you something else. If you improve the relationship with yourself, will you also have a better relationship with your job, with your exercise routine? Will you also have a better relationship with your sleep patterns, with waking up in the morning? Will you also have a better relationship with dealing with your kids? Will you also have a better relationship with your business project that you do at work and how you manage the team if you have a better relationship with yourself? This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. By improving one of the common denominators, you improve all these other areas in your life, right? Another example that I found is, have you ever woken up in the morning? I'll ask you a question. Have you ever woken up in the morning and been really groggy or, tired or, still thinking about all the things that you did the day before, right? Here's a good example. Have you ever woken up feeling like this, feeling like, like you're still carrying all the baggage from the day before? My guess is you probably have, right? And one day blends into the next and blends into the next, and your days become just this sort of routine or this minutia that you run through, and they don't become these spiritual, holy practices that you live. Every single day is a miracle. How do we get to this point where we're waking up in the morning and living as if every day is just another day? It's an ordinary thing. You woke up in the morning. You were unconscious. Your consciousness left your body and somehow came back. That is a miracle. How you are listening to this program today is a miracle. The sun came up. The earth kept spinning. How did these things happen? These are miracles. How do we live each and every day just thinking that it's a regular day, that it's just, oh yeah? Well, I'll tell you how. Very simple. We take each day for granted. We take the details of the day and we brush over them as if they were nothing. That's how. So continuing our talk about what are those single things that you can do to drastically improve your day? Okay. Well, here's a simple thing that you can do. Every night, before you go to bed, go into a quiet place, right? Whether you need to lock yourself in the bathroom for 20 minutes and block everyone else out, or you have a special room in your house, or you do it in your car before you come into the house, right? There's a million ways that you can do this. What you do is you go through, you sit and you think. And you go through your day, and you take out a little journal, a little notebook and a pen, and you write down all the things that you did that day. You just start from the beginning and you go through. Okay, today I did this, I did this, I had a conversation with Stu, I finished this project, I did this, Okay, that's number one. Number two is you go through what are the things that you did right, that you can give yourself a big pat on the back for. Number three, what are the things that you can improve on? And the second part to number three is how can you improve on those things, and what are you going to do tomorrow to improve those things? So we get into the habit of every day making progress. One of my first bosses, I managed a large part of the company for him when I was really young. He always said, 1% a day. 1% a day. Just go for 1%. After 100 days, you'll be at 100%, right? So that little tiny adjustment can make all the difference. Not only that, when you make those little tiny adjustments, you feel like you are succeeding in your life. You feel the progress that you're making, bit by bit by bit, little bit by little bit. You feel it. You feel every day you're getting better and stronger. Okay? So go through that again. Every day, as you're finishing your day, you give yourself some time. You take 20 minutes, and as you really begin to see the benefits of this, you may extend it. Take a half an hour, take an hour, but start with 20 minutes. And give yourself time to first go through your day. You need to remember your day. You may not even remember what you did in the morning, so you need to start with that first. And just go through and just point for them. What did I do today? Got up in the morning, had breakfast, talked to my wife, sent my kids off to school, went to work, drove to work, listened to an audio program, got to work, said hi to my boss, asked for a raise, didn't get the raise, spoke to Sue, right? And, just go through it in a paragraph form. You're not going to win awards on your handwriting style or your grammar here. That's not the point. Just go through it. What are all the things that you did? So after you finish going through that, then you go through and you look at what are the successes today. And get in the habit of, you write down a success, okay? So here might be the example. I got that raise today. Okay, well, take your non-writing hand and reach over your back and give yourself a few pats on the back. Okay? Just like that. I know you can do it. It might be a little bit awkward, but you can do it. Just get in the habit of patting yourself on the back. And what you'll notice is you'll notice that a smile begins to creep up on your face whenever you pat yourself on the back. And here's the little unknown secret. I'm going to break it to you. I'm going to give you the secret that nobody's telling you. You ready? Here it is. Here's the secret. The secret is you deserve it. You deserve a pat on the back for everything that you do that adds value to your life, to others' life, anything that you do that makes you feel good. Give yourself a pat on the back, because odds are you're pretty hard on yourself, aren't you? You're hard on yourself, beating yourself consistently. Pat yourself on the back. Okay, and number three, what are those things? So that's number two. Number three is, what are the things that you're doing right in your life? Sorry, that was number two. Number three is, what are the things that you can improve on and then you write those down, and then you say, what can I improve on tomorrow? And you actually, it's not just some hope and a dream. So, today I didn't make enough sales, so I didn't make enough money. So, okay, that's great. So what are you going to do about that? Break it down into action. Tomorrow, I'm going to start my day by reading an inspirational quote from a sales guru that I admire, and I'm going to implement one of the strategies that he talks about, and that strategy is to ask one more time for the sale, okay? Or that strategy might be to teach the client more about what they're doing so that they get more value and they're more likely to reciprocate. And I'm going to implement that strategy tomorrow with at least one of my clients that I talk to. Okay, so make it very definite. And then tomorrow, the whole goal of your day tomorrow, you might have little tasks and things, but the goal tomorrow is to get that 1%. So you implement that, and you see how it works. And then tomorrow, at the end of the day, you sit down, you take your 20 minutes, and you write about it. Right? You go through and you say, what are the things that I did today? I did this, I did this, I did this. Oh, and I did that thing that I said yesterday, and it worked really well. Okay, number 2, what are the accomplishments that you had today? Oh, I tried that thing that I said I would do yesterday, and it worked. And it worked really well, and I got that extra sale, so I was able to make that extra commission that I missed yesterday, and now I'm able to pay for that vacation for our family that's coming in 2 weeks. Okay, great. So what did you notice from let's go with number 3. Number 3, so what can I do the next day? What can I do better the next day? Oh, well, I'm going to do what I did yesterday, and I'm going to improve upon that. Oh, okay, great. All right, so what do you notice from this new day to the day that we just experienced, the one that we just did before? Well, the one that we did before was a lot more depressing, wasn't it? It was about, I did blah, 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 blah. And then today was about, I did that thing that I did yesterday, that I said I would do yesterday, and it worked really well. Right? So can you see how just by doing this one simple practice, by sitting down and reflecting on your day, will give you this absolute power, and you can be consistently making improvements, right? Now, guys, I'm speaking about this from experience. I have done this almost every day of my life since I was about 10 years old, maybe 12 years old. I think it was about 10, 11 years old is when I started using a journal. And I've done this practice almost every day, I won't say every day, but almost every day since that time. It works. When I was about 20, 22 years old, people would say, how old? Like, I know you look young, but like, you seriously, it feels like you're 30, you're older, you're very wise. And I said, well, how did that happen? And I said, well, it didn't happen by accident. I said, I just pay attention more than the average person does, which is not hard, by the way, because most people don't pay attention at all. So what did I do? I just paid attention. And I paid attention by finding ways to focus my thoughts, by training my mind to do certain activities and behaviors over and over and over again so they became automatic. And then I consistently got the benefits because of it. The times in my life, and I'll speak from experience, the times in my life that things got really mixed up, that I was having the hardest year that I've had. What was going on? Well, I stopped doing these things. I stopped these regular practices, and I began to fall into the routine that everybody else does, that the world falls into. And that's the routine of just going through the motions right? And all of a sudden, a year later, I remember this year because I've reflected back on it. I remember this year that at the end of the year, I was like, how the hell did I get here? How did I remember being at this point, how did I get here? Like, honestly, I had no clue because I hadn't actually been paying attention to my life. So I've gone both ways. I tested out both ways. And so don't think I'm just preaching this stuff and I haven't experienced it. I have experienced it. And I know what works and I know what doesn't. The way that doesn't work is when you wake up in the morning and you take the day for granted. When you miss the miracle that is present in every moment. And you begin to think of the day as just another day. That's when things stop working. Okay? So, those are just a few examples of what you can do to really improve the quality of your life. Just simple things that if you do this one thing, it will affect all the other parts. It doesn't mean you need to micromanage your entire day. It just means finding that, you've heard of the 80-20 principle, finding that 20% that makes 80% of the difference. And there are these things in your life, there's many of them, and by focusing on those 20%, you can really begin to see the benefits in all areas of your life. So I hope this chapter has really helped you and began to get you thinking of ways of what are those things that you can do in your life to really improve upon it. And we have a comment section below. I'd really love to hear your comments. If you have some specific questions, I'll be watching this post quite closely over the next few weeks and months to see your comments and answer some of these questions in a more personal way. But I've given you a few things that you can start on, and trust me, if you master what I've just given you, your life will soar beyond your wildest imagination. And I promise you that. You will see steady progress every single day. So take that 20 minutes, give yourself that time and that space, and really make your life into that thing that you dreamed of. I hope you'll join us for the next episode, in which I'll be going through goals and goal setting. We've heard about this topic, about how powerful goal setting is. And I'm going to break it down for you and give you some examples of the metaphysics of why setting goals works in the next episode. Why does goal setting work so well? And I'll tell you why it works. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. And I'm going to remove some of those illusions that a lot of people, if you've studied in either New Age psychology, anything in the New Age movement, there's been a lot of stuff about The Secret and, you want to achieve these things, so this is how you do it. And I've studied these things for many years, and I can break it down to you in a very simple and tangible way that you can take action on and actually see results almost immediately. Okay? And I think some of you are going to be really impressed and really really surprised at the simplicity of it, and just how what we've seen out in the New Age movement and seen out in the world has really complicated the whole issue, right? And that's part of the reason why people are not getting the results that they know that they should be getting. They know that something in here should work, something in this goal setting and secret principle, all this stuff, that should work. But why are they not receiving the results in their life that they're going for, right? And my belief is that there's been an overcomplication of this stuff, that this information has gotten so complex that the mind is trying to focus on 20 different things when it should be focusing on one. That's why we're not getting the results. Okay, so there's a little touch and a taste of what we're going to be covering in the next episode, and I promise you it's going to change the way you look at the world, and it's going to change your life. And that's what these episodes and these monthly classes are all about. Is about really changing everything in your life for the better, into making your life into what you've always dreamed of. And I believe you can. And now all we need to do is get you believing you can also, and giving you the tools to do that. So there's a button down below. Click subscribe, and you'll get the next episode delivered right to your email inbox. However you've received this one, I hope you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. And please do share your comments about this last episode below in the comment section. I'd love to hear your feedback, and you are the reason why I do these classes. You're the reason why I've made all of the mistakes to learn this stuff, so that I can teach you, so that I can give you the shortcut. So please share your comments below. Share your questions below. I'd love to help you out, get to that next level in your life. Thanks so much for joining. I'm Sam Love, and I'm going to sign off and tell you a little cliche, tell you to seize the day today and every day following. Much love, and God bless.